Hello, I'm Curtis George, the Technical Program Facilitator for Computer Science. For this video, I'm going to briefly go over some of the changes that were implemented in the Codio modules and information to help with grading, since there are still problems that are being corrected in the course revision. For the first draft, we changed some of the language and the variables for consistency so students will understand what is being asked. So for the rental car billing draft, for draft 3, we also changed some inconsistencies in the language. This is also to help the students better understand the instructions in the module. The big one, the file handling module. We had some problems with, I believe, 5.3 and 5.5, where even if the student did get the code correct, they couldn't really pass the test because there was an extra file added that was actually being in the test, that was actually in the test. So basically we corrected the solution check by removing that test for that additional file. This check was happening in section 5.3 and 5.5. A lot of students were spending too much time trying to get through this module due to the bad check. So this should help with student success. These modules are reasonable and will challenge students, so please help with the solution or helping students understand the material to get to the solution. There's some basic ideas I'd like to give you as far as looking at the different students' assignments. For example, if I go to Module 5, you'll notice there's actually some answer keys. These are for all the different drafts and finals. If you're looking to see what one solution is for the different drafts and finals, this is one. Another thing I'd like to remind you of is when students turn in their final, going to actually have an additional Word document. Basically, it's a reflection. It has different things they have to include. So my suggestion is, prior to this final in week 5 final submission, make sure that students understand that in addition to the code, they're actually going to have to turn in a Word document that has this reflection. And that could be done in an announcement or an email. Also, when grading, all the rubrics use the word identify. I know that's kind of odd, but the rubric is worded to try to make it easier for you to grade by letting the students provide comments to justify their code. But basically the idea is that you should look at the student's code as well as what is expected in the comments. Provide feedback if there are misconceptions in the student's comments, but also provide feedback on their code. The code is very short. It's really at the most 5 to 10, maybe 15 lines. So it really should only take a minute to run the code and find out what's wrong. You can just correct the code and give the student an idea what needs to improve. Also, the rubric can be loosely interpreted because of the word identify. If the student made a sufficient effort based on the student's code with comments, then that is sufficient. Another thing you'll notice that some of the rubrics, that there is a specific number of items. I'll give you an example here. And I believe this is the first draft. Yeah, first draft guideline in the rubric. The wording is identifies 3 uses of fundamental types of variables. And there's another rubric that says, identify for loops, and not for loops as in FOR, but for FOUR loops, conditionals, for conditionals, and in the same code. And sometimes, depending on the student and what they develop, for their solution, they may not have for conditionals or for loops. So, grade accordingly. It's the comments are based on the student's code. And we are actually correcting this in future classes. We're working on this is kind of one of the things we're working on, is the rubric. And that's basically because students will have different solutions, but the code solution may be okay. Also, just to give you a heads up on what's coming, there is a book coming that's going to be specific to this course. And here I'll kind of show you that. It's kind of a sneak peek. We can probably provide this book as a reference, but it's going through editing right now, so it'll probably be within a week or two. But as soon as this is ready, I'll go ahead and provide this for you to provide for the students as an extra reference. Also, we're building this into Codio, so the student will have access to this as well, and that should be done within a week or two. And with that, I'll actually let everybody know when that is finished. The new revision is coming. I mean, it's going to be a while, but please be patient. Just kind of work with what you have right now as far as the rubrics and actually grading the code and giving proper feedback. And just rely on your experience and to give students credit and help them learn Python. Okay, that's all I have for now. Have a great term, and remember, feedback is important for these students, especially since they're new to programming. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.